welcome to Clairview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines.
Court reinstates Philip Shaibu as Deputy Governor of Edo State, says reasons for his impeachment untenable in law. Judge walks out of court as EFCC and Yahaya Bello's lawyers engage in war of words. Big Brother Naija announced reduction in prize money for 2024 Season 9 edition.
I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs of Rano, Gaya and Karaye Emirates. This is contained in a statement issued by Sanusi Bature Dawakin Tofa, the spokesperson to the governor, who also answers as Director General, Media and Publicity, Government House, Kano. According to Bature, the new emirates are to serve as second, with Kano as first-class emirate. The appointments are with immediate effect. We have a commentary.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs of Rano, Gaya and Karaye Emirates. This is contained in a statement issued by Sanusi Bature Dawankitofa, the spokesperson to the governor, who also answers as Director General, Media and Publicity, Government House, Kano. According to Bature, the new emirates are to serve as second, with Kano as first-class emirate. The newly appointed emirs are 1. Alhaji Mohammed Maraz Karaye as Emir of Karaye, who until his appointment was the district head of Rogo. 2. Alhaji Mohammed Isa Umar as Emir of Rano, who until his appointment was the district head of Bunkure. 3. Alhaji Aliyu Ibrahim Abdulkadir Gaya as Emir of Gaya, who was the Emir of the defunct Gaya Emirate. While congratulating the newly appointed emirs, Governor Abba K. Yusuf enjoined them to be custodians of culture, peace and unity of the people in their respective emirates. You may recall that the governor had, on the 16th of July 2024, signed into law 3 second-class emirates in the state, with Rano covering only Rano, Kibia and Bunkure local government areas, Gaya covering only Gaya, Jingi and Albas local government areas, Karaye covers only Karaye and Rogo local government areas. We hear that the appointments are with immediate effect. Clairview News Desk will be making concerted efforts to get Bature to speak on the implications of these appointments and shed light on other chieftaincy matters generating news in Kano State. If need be, we will also ask him to get us the Commissioner for Chieftaincy Affairs, if need be. Or better still, if Bature is not one of the Nigerian media aides who take delight in personality hoarding while shielding their principals from being interviewed, then we will take our amiable Governor Abba Gida Gida on our global interview via our social media platforms. Clairview News Desk.
A federal high court in Abuja presided over by Justice Omotosho has this Wednesday nullified the impeachment of Philip Shaibu as the Deputy Governor of Edo State. Omotosho held that the allegation on which the House of Assembly based the impeachment proceedings was untenable in law and did not constitute gross misconduct. The judge ordered his reinstatement to office on the grounds that the Edo State House of Assembly failed to comply with due process in the purported impeachment and therefore ordered the Inspector General of Police to provide him with needed security to enable him resume office and perform the functions of the office until the end of his tenure. Meanwhile, Justice Omotosho has equally set aside the appointment of another deputy governor in place of Shaibu. Report says Shaibu, who was in court, shed tears of joy upon hearing the judge's pronouncements. The planned arraignment of Yahaya Bello, former governor of Kogi State, on alleged 82 billion naira fraud charges took a dangerous dimension on Wednesday when two senior advocates engaged in a war of words during the proceedings. The two lawyers are Abdul Wahab Mohammed, standing for Bello San, and Kemi Pinheiro San, standing for the federal government. Trouble started when Mohammed announced his appearance for the former governor and left out his colleague Adiola Adedipe's son. However, the federal government council opposed the exclusion on the grounds that Adedipe should be included in the proceedings until discharged by the court. Adedipe interrupted the argument of the federal government lawyer, insisting that he was not prepared to be part of the proceedings. At this stage, Mohammed interjected and announced that Adedipe had filed a notice of withdrawal from the proceedings. As Justice Emeka Nwite was about to deliver a ruling on the contentious appearance matter, Bello's lawyer stood up and requested to be allowed to stay outside the proceedings if the court proceeded with the ruling. Fuming with anger, Mohammed openly called Pinheiro a rough lawyer who takes delight in misleading the court. His attempt to make further abusive remarks about the federal government lawyer was aborted, but Mohammed refused to apologize, insisting that he would leave the court should the judge go ahead with the ruling. When tempers rose beyond control, Justice Emeka Nwite, out of anger, abruptly brought the proceedings to an end by walking straight into his chamber. Now, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has written to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, seeking the removal of the Senate Chief Whip, Senator Ali Ndume of APC Borno South, and also asking Ndume to resign from the party and join either the People's Democratic Party (PDP) or any of the opposition party. In a letter to the Senate President, signed by the National Chairman Alhaji Umar Ganduje and the party's National Secretary, Senator Surajuddin Basiru, respectively, the party asked that Ndume be replaced with Senator Mohammed Tahir Mongunu of APC Borno North. The party's national chairman said Ndume's complaints about President Bola Tinubu are unbecoming, adding that his utterances are not favorable to the federal government. The request was put to voice votes by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and loudly affirmed by all the APC senators.
Dr. Godswill Akpabio, President of the Senate, complained against the unbecoming utterances of Senator Ahmed Ali Ndume. I'm writing on behalf of the National Working Committee of our great party to express our displeasure, our outrage, and our deep disappointment at the unbecoming, unfounded, and baseless criticism of the government and the party, the APC, by your majority whip of the Senate, Senator Ali Muhammadu Ndume. For the APC caucus, of the Senate, which does not include Senator Warada, those of you who are in support of the suggestion by the party, can you shout aye? Those against say nay. No, I have to be sure. Those of you who are in support of the decision by the party, can you shout aye? Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
In today's rapidly changing world, securing a comfortable retirement is a goal that should be on everyone's radar. However, statistics from a recent survey carried out by Corywise reveal that only 32.5% of Nigerians are actively saving for their retirement, and this could have serious consequences down the line. Over the years, The lack of planning and the uncertainties surrounding retirement have been a major problem for many Nigerians, and with the current economic realities facing the country, it is important, now more than ever, for every Nigerian to key into it. In this exclusive interview with Clairview News crew, Wilson Ideva, a seasoned expert in pension matters, advises Nigerians on how to plan for retirement. The report.
The Nigerian economy and quality of life of Nigerians have seen some recent contractions in recent times, from the escalating cost of living due to the removal of fuel subsidy to the impact of the unification of exchange rate by the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. Many Nigerians are receiving it very hot, and survival has now become a battle for the fittest. The current economic realities, however, has greatly affected citizens, particularly the aged and retired population, which amount to about 9.4 million people. Many workers who lived comfortable lives when they were in active service, unfortunately, have become destitute in their vulnerable old age because they could not maintain their former lifestyles. The welfare of retirees have worsened and is built to continue to deteriorate given current economic realities. Now more than ever, retirees and intending retirees need to take deliberate steps to think and act to secure a good life at retirement. According to Wilson Ideva, a seasoned professional in Nigeria's pension sector, in an era where economic uncertainties cast a long shadow, Nigerian workers should not leave anything to chance and must adopt a proactive stance in their preparation for retirement.
For young people just leaving school, instead of having so much money, you could also do so many things. And you can, because the day you enter any employment, your retirement date is also known. So if you enter civil service, for instance, today, they will tell you you are going to retire XYZ day, barely anything happening. If you don't resign by yourself or you don't meet problem. So you can actually plan how you want your life to look like in retirement. Because retirement life, most people don't plan for it. Most people believe that, when I retire, things will work for themselves. It's not true. When you are working, because you don't just work and think, I just work, I retire, then I'll maybe start bothering my children or start looking at one uncle to help me out. You should be able to plan your life so that when you retire, yes, you might meet with unforeseen circumstances like we are saying now, but on overall, you can weather through. So that's it. If you plan, that is what you can get. Every individual worker in this country, whether in the formal or informal, we should plan for retirement so that when we retire, we don't constitute problem, or I don't want to use the word nuisance, but we don't consider a challenge or problem to society, because this society we have so much to do. We have not gotten to the level where government is able to provide fully for senior citizens. Because if you're in England, for instance, now you know that at 60, you have free bus ride, you have free train ride, you have free medication, but we don't have that here. So I want to encourage that even the tomato sellers, they can form union. With that union, they can open a PFA account and begin to remit, so that when they are also old and they can no more go to the market, they can no more do things they were doing, they can get stipends, no matter how small. It's always better to have something than nothing.
He also stressed on the need for the media and other relevant stakeholders to educate and enlighten Nigerians on the need to plan for their retirement early enough, regardless of the sector.
We expect the media to help with enlightenment. We expect the media to help with letting people know that age have nothing to do where you work, and that also letting people to know the challenges they will meet at old age. Because we are strong now, we are run up and down. By the time we come, when we are working with stick, and that time, years back, your children will take care of you. But this era, the children are also having their issues. And beside their issues, the environment where they are growing up now, the children, it's not like where some of us who are old grew up. We grew up in a situation where we have a burden for every person. The children have a burden for only themselves now. So the media needs to help with enlightenment, and the media needs to also bring to the knowledge of every worker to say, look, it's your duty to ensure that your pension is being remitted. Because I've seen a lot of people, they come to me, they say, oh, I don't even know my PFA. I say, how? My employer, they are contributing money, I don't even know. I said, no, it's not true. It's not supposed to be so. You are supposed to take your pension after your doctor. I think the next person you should take very seriously is your PFA.
Wilson Ideva also called on Nigerians in the creative and entertainment industry to key into Nigeria's pension scheme to avoid issues in the near future.
Single motherhood by choice is on the rise, especially for women over 35. Instead of waiting for a partner, more women are deciding to take things into their own hands and pursue motherhood. Research on single parenthood is mostly focused on single mothers, but there is a growing number of men pursuing parenthood without a partner. The advancement of technology has made it possible to be pregnant with a sperm donor and IVF, IUI, or at-home insemination. Clairview's correspondent went into the streets to sample the opinions of Nigerians and what they think about the growing menace.
Nowadays, it's just as common for children to be reared in a single-parent family than in a traditional two-parent family. This is largely due to the high rate of delays in marriage, divorce rate, and those shunning the marriage institution altogether. Single parenting is becoming too popular as some people, both women and men, now choose to be parents without the commitment of marriage. Clairview Television spoke with some Nigerians on why people choose to be single parents.
Some men don't have patience to be together with women. Meanwhile, some women too, they don't have patience to be together with some men.
One who was raised by single parents, I understand how much this had caused some flaws in me, and the reason is that even though she wanted to actually put in her best to raise us up in the best possible way she could, there were gaps and blind spots that she wasn't opened up to.
The woman to come together before he created this world. If they decide to do that, they are on their own. It is better to marry a man and woman to come together before you give birth to a child.
Despite the attraction for single parenting, are there some dangers associated with single parenting, particularly as it affects the family unit?
Do not consider the mental health of the child. Do not consider the mind of the child as to being furnished when, in the case where both parents are available.
The disadvantage of being a single mother, it's more than the advantage. Being a single mother is not easy. I know you put on your best to see that you give the best to the children, but even at that fatherly advice is not there. It's not there.
The women that are doing that and the men that are doing that, hellfire is waiting for them.
Parenting by choice, it's a very dangerous act in our society. Why? Because every child needs care, love directly from his parents, right from the cradle side of him till the time that he has become around 18 to 20 years. Why? Because there are some things that child will be missing away from his parents.
If you want to give birth, do the right thing, the normal thing that needed. In that way, then you feel the love and happiness in the family.
Though the choice to be a single parent may be valid, both parents and children still undergo some difficulties adjusting to single parenthood. Indeed, while single parenting can be as successful as dual parent, it just carries more work. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clairview Television.
When it comes to sports, especially football, a group of players normally pray before, during, or even after a game. Despite the prayers, one cannot categorically say God answers the prayers of a particular team against the other, because sometimes the results usually come out leaving the opponent devastated. In this special report, Clairview's Imefono Kon spoke with FCT coaches on the burning issue and reported that in sports, it is what you put into the training that comes into reality, and that God knows nobody in sports. The report.
Most teams, both local and international, have a tradition of praying before the start of their matches and sometimes even before going into extra time. The players this time put aside their religious differences as they seek the face of God for direction in the course of their matches. Yet, despite the regular prayers, the team may not perform excellently well. Now the big question, does God answer prayer in sport? These FCT coaches speak.
In football, it is what you put into training session that comes into reality. And why I'm saying this is this. Let me give you a practical example. I'm talking of Japan 2002 World Cup. We have a prayer warrior in our squad. That is talking of our goalkeeper, Vincent Yema. In fact, he always he prays, before, during, and after game. But unfortunately, anytime he prays, that is when we are, somehow being beaten.
Honestly, in football, prayers doesn't work in football. It work if you do the needful. That's why if you prepare well, you go back to drawing board, you do all your mistakes, you correct all your mistakes, then I think you got it right, because it's two good sides that are playing. So all the teams, they are looking for a loopholes to capitalize on. So if anyone make mistake, the other will capitalize on it and get the goal.
In football, as a footballer, you just need 30% of prayer. 70% is your work on the pitch, on and off the pitch. 70%. You can't be a player when people are training, people are doing their jogging and all that. You are there fasting and doing prayer. Then when you come to a match, you think you can pray. No. That day you say God will disappoint you, because
God answers prayer. But then if you pray, you have to do what is respected of you. Like for instance now, you are playing, the goalpost is towards this direction, then you kick the ball towards the opposite direction. The ball can never reverse back and enter the goalpost. So as you pray, you have to also work hard.
It's just that everyone can pray, but God has way of doing his own thing, and God bless who he chooses to bless, favor who he chooses to favor.
These coaches also shed more light on whether sport is also a game of luck.
Oh, it's a football match. You ought to do your assignment. You ought to start the right players. You ended up starting somebody who is not ready, and he goes there and makes mistakes. He just threw away luck. But you prepared better, you did this better, you did everything better. Love shines with you, but the luck comes with hard work. Hardly will you see luck, no matter how, hardly will you see luck that has no hard luck.
Sports is not really a game of luck, and there is elements of luck attached to it, because you have to work diligently to make sure you are able to achieve something, because you cannot give what you don't have.
Football is not a game of luck. It's a game of putting training into perfection.
Football is not a game of luck. Honestly, it's a game of who is a good tactician. The good side goes with the day.
Experts say in sports, teams are meant to prepare very well for their contest and not rely on prayers, because God is not into the game of sport. Imefonokun reporting for Clairview News.
If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clairview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us. Great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. Welcome back. Nigerian doctor and visual artist Fola David has begun his official attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the largest drawing by an individual on a canvas measuring 850 square meters. The record-breaking attempt is currently underway at the Onikan Stadium in Lagos and is scheduled to last for 6 days from July 16 to July 21, 2024. The artwork, titled Unity in Diversity, will feature a map of Nigeria, highlighting the country's diverse tribes through their unique attire, language, art, and essence. The current Guinness World Record holder is Ravi Soni from India, who achieved a drawing of 629.98 square meters. Organizers of the popular TV reality show Big Brother Naija have announced a reduction in the prize money for its anticipated Season 9 2024 edition. The show organizers made the announcement on their official X handle this Wednesday. The winner of the 2024 season will now receive a grand prize of 100 million naira and a brand new SUV, down from the previous amount of 120 million naira. This development comes ahead of the Season 9 premiere set to kick off on Sunday, 28 July 2024 and run for 71 days. In a twist to the game format, contestants will now compete in pairs, bringing new dynamics to the challenges. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
A federal high court in Abuja has this Wednesday nullified the impeachment of Philip Shaibu as the deputy governor of Edo State, say allegation on which the State House of Assembly based the impeachment proceedings was untenable in law and did not constitute gross misconduct. The planned arraignment of former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, on alleged 82 billion naira fraud charges took a dangerous dimension this Wednesday when two senior advocates engaged in a war of words during proceedings over the exclusion of one of Bello's lawyers. We also told you that the organizers of Big Brother Naija reality show have announced a reduction in the prize money for its anticipated Season 9 2024 edition from 120 million naira to 100 million naira and a brand new SUV.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clairview News Desk or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clairview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.